practice today, I would like to bring forward a meditation on the seeds of possibility. So, for anybody who is joining the Spokane Sangha for the first time today, one of the things that we have been doing is exploring the very vast idea of forgiveness. And I created a community art project with a beautiful tree of life and the tree of forgiveness. And on the root system of this piece, I put these little dots and I call them seeds of possibility. And I just want to take us on a little imagery oriented meditation to be thinking about seeds, seeds of possibility that are within each of us. The possibility of forgiveness, the possibility of already having been forgiven, the possibility of the ways we keep ourselves layered with the pressure to be perfect, the pressure to be something other than what we are, that inhibits our connection to grace and forgiveness that is always available. So these are things to just allow space in the mind to entertain. And with that, I would just like to invite you all to put the body into a posture that feels conducive for receiving this meditation, these ideas. Please know that unless otherwise stated, you can put your body in movement for this meditation. You can lie down. You can be on camera or off camera. If you are moving, I would be grateful that you keep yourself off camera because the movement can be a little distracting, and some people are sensitive visually, and the movement can make people feel a little dizzy and unsettled. Arrive to your practice, friends, in the way that is most comfortable to you. I'm sitting in a chair. My feet are on the ground. My hands are in my lap. My eyes are closed. And my spine is straight. I'm not leaning on the back of the chair. I'm leaning a little bit forward so that I can have a straight spine. My shoulders are back. And I'm trying to create enough space in my core body, in my torso, where my lungs can fill, expand, and contract, can fill and empty to their greatest capacity. Allow your breathing to have ease and invite the word forgiveness into your mind, into the heart. Allow whatever is attached to that word, memories, stories, feelings, regrets, whatever it is, allow it to arise. Allow it to be there. create some space around the word forgiveness for its attachments. What if you imagined the word forgiveness encased in something? A shell, a nut casing, a seed casing, maybe wrapped in a burial cloth, maybe in between, sandwiched between two leaves, whatever. Allow your imagination, creative freedom and space. But put the word forgiveness into some kind of casing. Put it on the ground, maybe even dig a little hole. Put it into the hole, cover it with soil. Planting the seed of forgiveness. Oh, the possibilities that exist there. Unseen, out of your control, several inches in the cold dark, where shifts will inevitably happen, where you know something is going on, but it's not clear what it is, and it's not time to unearth it. Best to leave it alone. But noticing in your own actions the draw, the desire even to entertain the spirit of nurturance. Something calls to you from that seed that says, hey, water me occasionally. Pull out some of the weeds growing around my space, competing with my nourishment and nutrients. Take care of the space in which you have buried me. And so we do. We water that seed. We monitor its sunshine. We take care to notice the balance of nature around it. And before we know it, that seed of possibility begins to emerge from the soil, from the mud, if it's a lotus. Thich Nhat Hanh is so famous for having said, no mud, no lotus. And what he's pointing to is the seeds of possibility are always buried. They're always in the unseen places. Dark, removed, And yet, from that mysterious place, life is happening. Life is always happening. The casing decomposes, the casing feeds the seed kernel within. The consciousness of this seed knows to defy gravity, to root itself, to anchor, and to rise from the layers of darkness. A fragile peak breaking the surface of the earth, receiving the splendor of the air, of the rain, of the sun, of the cosmos itself raining down, feeding the soil. The lotus flower rising from the rot, from the mud, allowing itself to be baptized and purified through the waters of the pond before it emerges to the air and sun, opening and receiving. As we turn this imagery toward ourselves, and as we begin to explore and own and see clearly our confusion, our ignorance, manifesting in behaviors that produce more harm, more confusion, more pain, more misery. These things can bury us, keep us in the dark, like the stones we put upon ourselves, immobilizing our potential and possibility. And so we have to learn to listen clearly, listen gently to what the seeds of possibility have to say, what the seeds of forgiveness have to say. Darling, you may feel buried. That is true, and not the whole truth. Don't forget, you are also planted. We bury these seeds of possibility and we plant them too. The resilience we possess to emerge from these layers of habit energy, from the layers of limitations, from the layers of negative, neurotic storytelling that we have over-identified with. That resilience we possess to emerge from all of that is extraordinary. And it's scary because what we're emerging into is something new. the air, infinite in spaciousness, the warmth of the sun, the rains. We have to open to this in order to grow. And to open to it is to be vulnerable. And to be vulnerable feels weak and scary, but only because we have forgotten what's still in the unseen realm of the earth below, our roots, our anchored points, the possibility lying there, supporting us, continuing to feed our strength, enabling us to be vulnerable and to receive. Many of us on the journey of recovery have buried ourselves in our misgivings, wanting to be forgiven, failing to remember that that seed of forgiveness is already there. Its possibility waits for our own nurturance, for our own care. And when we begin to take care of ourselves, when we begin to remember the whole of who we are, the seed of possibility grows. There's a wonderful saying that in every acorn lives the possibility of a forest of oak. In every person lies the possibility of extraordinary humanity. How are you nurturing your seeds of possibility? How are you nurturing the seeds of forgiveness? In what ways have you buried these seeds? And in what ways can you remember that in their burial they're planted too? Friends, may all that is unforgiven in you find and receive the beauty of your own nurturance. May you grow in anchored resilience. May you receive the sacredness of breath and life. May you have the clarity of light to guide your noble way. And may you remember that the earth delights in your presence here. Maybe take a deep cleansing breath, and when you're ready, you can come back to this space. Friends, let's go ahead and end our practice today with a dedication of merit. You know, one of the things about recovery is it really is a fragile time, especially for people new to recovery. So we're really looking outside of ourselves for support. We don't really trust our own agency. We don't trust our knowing anymore. And so I want you to know that any effort you make to creating a journey of recovery, a way of being in the world that is free of substances that clutter the mind and harden the heart, it is an extraordinary act of courage. And it is a powerful way of being in the world. And we need to know what's working for you. And we need to know how these practices are working for you. And so I hope that you share them in other places. It is so inspiring. And it's so humbling to encounter people who are still so lost and confused, buried instead of planted. May your nurturance for yourself spill over and nurture others. May the warmth and kindness of the sunshine as it lives in you warm and light others. May the tears of grief you've shed, may the tears of joy and relief you have refresh and replenish those still waiting to emerge. May you know that your presence here is a wonder to behold. Thank you so much for your practice, friends. We'll see you next time. Namaste.